There, it's Waste Potential 616 back again with some more comic reviews. Okay, I've got quite a few comics to review, but just for this video, I'm going to stick with them 3 Wolverine titles. One of which is a Punisher one, but there's a crossover with Wolverine's son Dakin, so you know, I thought it should include it. Okay, let's get started with Wolverine Origins, issue 50, and it's the final issue of Wolverine Origins. Written by Daniel Way. Well, Daniel Way hasn't been a bad writer for Wolverine, I don't think. But the whole Wolverine Origins thing, you know, the point of it was for Wolverine getting his memories back and finding out about his son, finding about this character Romulus who's been manipulating Wolverine for years, and blah blah blah. And this kind of concludes with Wolverine coming to terms with himself, coming to terms with his past. He's not going to let himself be ruled by his past anymore, by all the programming from Romulus and blah blah blah. You know, I mean, for a start, I feel like I've read this comic before, pretty much. You know, Wolverine having all these hallucinations, not being sure what's real or not, and through these hallucinations of his past, coming to terms with who he is. You know, the amount of fever dreams Wolverine's had, you know, he's had loads. It's not very original, and it just feels unnecessary. You know, it's trying to make out that there's some big revelation in Wolverine's life. He's sorting himself out, and it didn't need to be done. Wolverine should be a complicated character in his own mind, although not have this overly complicated part. You know, basically Daniel Way just overcomplicated an already complicated and convoluted backstory / origin for Wolverine. And this is the conclusion of it, and it just feels unnecessary. It really does. You know, it's not written badly. It's, you know, it's interesting enough, and the artwork's okay. You know, Will Conrad, you know, just some nice artwork here, but just, you know, it just felt. I mean, there's the obligatory Wolverine in his mind meeting up with this feral, evil version of himself. You know. This train of bones ends up hitting this, you know, feral Wolverine in his mind. So Wolverine's in control now, is he? I mean, is he? Do we want Wolverine to be fully in control? You know, so the ghosts of my past, all the women I've loved, they're not going to haunt me anymore. You know, it just felt unnecessary, really, and it's going to be ignored anyway later on. So yeah, I mean, hey, brilliant cover, but it's really disappointing, you know, and quite a disappointing series. This whole Wolverine Origins thing wasn't really necessary. I don't think people really liked Romulus as a character. It just felt stupid having this one character manipulating Wolverine for years in the background. You know, it was cool enough just having the government, you know, mess around with. I mean, Wolverine's past has been explained. You know, there was, you know, a government experiment. They were trying to turn him into a super soldier or into like a sentinel or whatever. It's been there's so many different versions. You know, just too overly complicated. And there you go. So disappointing stuff. Wolverine Weapon X, issue 15. I was actually a bit disappointed in this as well. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm really enjoying Jason Aaron's stuff at the moment, and obviously he's been given this new Wolverine title, which is coming out, I don't know, September or something, and I'm liking his stuff in the Astonishing Spider-Man and Wolverine. The thing is with this title, okay, the storyline, Wolverine hardly appears in its Deadlock or Deathlock storyline, and it's basically, you know, an introduction and origin of this new Deathlock that's now in the Marvel Universe. It's an introduction of a new character, and they're using sort of Wolverine's popularity to introduce him, basically. So got a new Deathlock on the scene who has Wolverine claws and can do stuff that a lot of the Avengers can do. Cool, fair enough, but you didn't need to do it in a Wolverine title, really, you know. It's written well. Ron Garney's artwork's brilliant. I'd love to see him regularly do Wolverine. It does a good job doing the Avengers as well. But I just didn't like the storyline, the way the storyline panned out in the end. The fact they hardly featured Wolverine did piss me off. But it's a lot of time travel, a lot of sort of self-fulfilling prophecies, you know, going back in time to have to, not being able to change time or not attempting. It just got a little bit convoluted and confusing, you know. Although not really confusing, I knew what it was trying to do, but it just bugged me in general. So, as I say, it's written well and it's illustrated well, so you might enjoy it. I just didn't like the way the story went. So there we go. And the motivations of this Deathlock character got a bit confusing, you know. I mean, there's a bit where he sort of doesn't want to change the past. Is that in order to preserve his own existence, or what? Because he becomes the leader of rebellion in the future, and blah blah. By the way, that borrows quite a lot from Terminator. I don't know. I just got quite confused. One good touch about this I did enjoy is this new Deathlock. It's the computer in his mind that is the logical dominant force, and it's the human part of him that's sort of like not in control, and this the annoying voice in his head, you know, the bad guy, if you will, which is kind of the opposite of the original Deathlock. So that was quite a nice touch, but apart from that, I was a bit disappointed again. Franken-Castle issue 19, the second part of the Dark Wolverine Franken-Castle crossover. Okay, in order to enjoy this, you've got to just realise what it is. It's a straightforward fight comic. This whole crossover is just a fight comic, basically. It's a fight between the two characters. It's illustrated well. I do like this guy's artwork, I'm telling you more. Really nice, kind of stylized, slightly cartoonish in bits, but detailed at the same time. Some really gory bits as well, you know, just sort of leave your brain at home. Action, fun, just one big fight. Some quite good dialogue by Rick Remender, and yeah, it's fun, and the artwork's good, but that's all it is. Nothing groundbreaking, nothing revolutionary. So if you know what you're expecting, just straightforward kind of crazy fight comic, you know, with both characters sort of healing them, doing each other a lot of damage, kind of reminiscent of the Wolverine origin issues where Wolverine's fighting Deadpool. It's just a big back and forth, you know, and that's what this is. So if you don't mind that, you know, there you go, that's what this is. Nothing more, nothing less. And also, there's a final page, cliffhanger of a surprise character getting involved. I wonder who that could be. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys, and I'll be back with more comic reviews either tomorrow or maybe later on tonight, depending whether I get to sleep or not. Look after yourselves, bye.